Peter.
How you doing?
How's it going? I am okay. Yourself?
Good evening. Oh, I'm very, very well. Good evening, folks out there. So glad you can join us. It's Tartan Tunes time. We're here again. Can't believe that's another week past, but there we go.
I know.
So, I hope you're all doing fine out there, folks. Please share it about for us. Hit that share button. Share. That's the name of the game these days, apparently. I'm not very sure what it shares to, but it shares somewhere.
The ether.
Alright, okay. The internet-y thing.
Yeah.
The cybernet-y thing.
Germany, Dundee, Canada, Wormit.
Wormit, brilliant. Yeah, there you go. So, what's been on this week? Anything good?
This week. 2 books releases this week.
Wow.
That's been good. So, yeah, 2 books. So I had Stuart Sampson's The Park Grove collection. That is now available as a physical book rather than just a digital book. So anyone who wants a copy of that can go to sdsamsonmusic.com. We also
please do, because there's some fantastic tunes on there.
We also had Ross Miller on Wednesday at night pushing his book, and his book's arrived on Friday, and he's over the moon with that. So that's good. But most of the week have been spent on actually a new book, Isla Stout, our dad.
Oh yeah.
Bringing out a book of tune called the Stout Collection.
Yeah, because we had Isla on the show once before as well.
Yeah. Before my time, but yes, you did.
Yeah, way back in the old days.
Old days, the days of would that be BD before Davie?
Before Davie, yeah.
BD and AR after Ross and before Davie. And so that's in the middle of being worked on. So that should be out for July, August sort of time. That's the plan anyway.
Hello, Daphne. There's Daphne White, which is actually a pen name, I think. Ernie Curry, thank you. I got home today. We've been having central heating problems and got it all sorted, and we're back in the house. And Ernie sent me my favourite packet of crisps with Dumfries today in a box. I got cheese crisps from Dumfries, so I'm made up.
What type are they?
Absolutely. XL cheese crisps, that's my favourite. Folks,
XL.
What's your favourite food out there? Go on, give us a laugh. Favourite thing you can remember growing up that you really, really liked that you miss, from whatever area you came from. Could be a Shetland bannock, could be a pork pie, who knows. Let's have I bet there's some interesting things coming.
I thought you could at least simplify it a bit and say what's your favourite bag of crisps?
The bag of crisps? Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
What's your favourite bag of crisps tonight, folks? That's
My favourite bag of crisps. I'm a big fan of Golden Wonder spring onion.
Yeah, alright, okay. I used to like curry crisps. They used to do these curry crisps. Anyway, listen, we're having a tune. Oh gosh, there's Ian Duncan saying we hope we're getting the big pipes tonight at some point. I'm not sure if we're having big pipes.
No tonight, no.
No, but we will some night. We'll get the big pipes out. I could even get the big pipes out some night for a laugh. That would... Well, no, that might not draw the figures on there. There's somebody saying Tatty Crisps, Smith's ready solid. See, here we go.
See,
the
Smith's
wee blue
before
bag.
we got bought by Walkers.
The wee blue bag. Right, what are we having music wise tonight? Who are we having first, you or me?
We'll have you. No, we'll have me first.
Have you first. So
aye.
Cool.
Aye.
What are you doing? What are you up to the night?
I'm going to play a tune that I have recently kind of heard of. It's called Dark Lowers the Night. It's a 3/4 retreat, which is it's actually a Scott Scars book 1, but only recently I kind of heard it. It's a minor retreat, and it's just quite a nice wee bonny tune.
Magic, take it away, sir. Let's go with that to begin with. That's a nice tune. Nice melody.
It's a really nice tune. Yeah, it's a
very strong melody.
It was written by by Pipe Major J. Mackay,
Unusual.
and he was late 1800s,
Very
died in 1920s. Lovely tune.
Hello, Janet. How are there? There's Janet for the Parkinson's awareness in Lanark. Nice that you've joined us. Pickled onions, 2 pence a bag.
Was that an old 2 pence?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, there's Heidi. There's Ross's sister. Hi, Heidi. Good to see you there. Good to see you.
Anything but tripe.
That's the tune the tune I wrote. Hamish Will of Ballinloig.
Is that the one that's in your second book?
Yeah, that's Heidi's wee boy.
I see.
Right, for my one tonight, I wasn't sure if I was going to get home or not, so what I've done is got you a video that you've worked on for me. And Karen's plucking these ones back. This is last year through the summer, folks. I was up in Yell and decided to have a wee tune outside, but the tunes I'm going to play, the first one's called the Joe Carriageway to Malig, because in the olden days it certainly wasn't a Joe Carriageway. I don't know what it's like now, but it wasn't a Joe Carriageway then anyway. Especially if you get stuck behind a fish lorry spilling it out all the way up the road. So that's the first tune, I think, and then I think I played the High Road to Linton. But I was up in Yell and I was standing in the greenhouse because they said there was the weatherman, the local weatherman, he came out with this. There's plumps of rain going about or something like that. So I was just taking care. So, but I hope you enjoy this. This is a wee set for last year up in Yell. Quick set of reels to get us going. Couple of tunes for you there, finishing off with the High Road to Linton, and as you can see it's still very, very, very wet outside here. So, hello Grace, how are you doing? You alright? Are you fine?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, it's not going to be much of a day to be honest, so we'll just have to wait and see. That must be one of the clumps of rain that was coming. Oh well. That's what happens in Yell.
Dearie me.
That really was a plump of rain.
Wow.
Plump of rain. Nothing like it, eh?
There's nothing like that. Nothing like that.
It was all good fun. Listen, folks, we've got two fantastic guests for you tonight. We have Ewan Robertson and we have Amy Bailey. We're going to get some songs and tunes and a mixture of and everything. So I really hope you can share this about for us and see what gets going. That would be great. You got any stories for us tonight, Davie, before we bring the first man on?
I've got to be. There you go. Get the pipes in next week, Peter.
Oh boy. Yeah. Could be interesting.
I was reading a story the other day about, but it's actually we've seen that about Americans arriving in the Highlands, and so the American arrived in the Highlands, and it's everything that they wanted. It was the mountains, the rivers, the snow topped, and just everything, the sound of bagpipes just in the air.
Oh.
And they arrive at the hotel and they say to reception, "Is it always the bagpipes always playing?" They say, "Oh, the bagpipes always playing, day and night. If the bagpipes aren't playing, it's bad news." And he goes, "All right, okay." So he goes to his room and kind of gets on with the rest of his holiday. Goes down for the evening meal and speaks to the waitress and says, the bagpipes, do they always play? Oh, the bagpipes always playing all day, all night, and if the bagpipes stop playing, it's bad news. So I'm thinking, must be getting serious. So it gets later on the day and he's at the bar and the barman's pouring him a nice single malt, and he says, do the pipes ever stop? He says, no, the pipes always play, and if they don't play, it's bad news. He says, 3 folk have said that to me now. What's the bad news? Well, if the pipe stops, the accordion starts. I'm not here to tell jokes.
I think, I like your mug. That's a nice mug you've got there.
This one or that one? Okay.
Look, I've got one as well.
Look. Is yours spelt right? Yeah, so's mine.
Yeah, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, new Tartan Tunes mugs. We're going to, over the next few weeks, have some wee challenges for you and some prizes of Tartan Tunes mugs. So I think that's going to be a fun. So watch out. Cup of tea and a Tartan Tunes mug, you can't beat it.
Music to your ears.
I've actually got lemonade actually. Davie, who's our first guest tonight?
Our first guest is a fantastic guitarist, and as I found it today, he also plays the pipes and the fiddle, according to his bio.
The accordion? No, not the accordion.
No, he's not a bad guy. We have some folk may know him as the guitarist from Braybach, but we know him by his real name, Ewan Robertson.
Hello, Ewan.
Hello, Ewan.
How are you doing, gents?
Grand, yourself?
Very well, thanks. Enjoyed your tunes,
Brilliant.
both of you there. Great stuff.
Yeah.
See, nothing but the joke there. See that? He didn't like the joke.
Oh well, yeah. Well, we just weren't going to mention it again.
Okay.
Nice to see you, Ewan. That weather there that I got in my video, you're from Carbridge originally in the Highlands there. You would have seen weather plumps like that sometimes.
Driest village in the UK, I believe.
Yeah, is that right? Carbridge?
Well, I always say that to people, and then whenever they visit, it's always raining. But yeah, no, we've got quite a dry climate in Strathspey and Badenoch, so yeah. It's a lovely place to visit.
When we were chatting earlier, and I was telling you I lived in Carbridge for a couple of years, and I used to love it. The horse for the landmark centre, the big horse that was there at the time, he used to stay in the field across from me.
Bob the horse, Bob the Clydesdale. Yeah.
That was him, Bob. Great fellow, Bob. Never argued with him once. he never had a bad word to say about anybody. So it was really nay. So what have you been up to these days? Like all the rest of you, sitting in the house a lot.
Yeah, sitting in the house. I mean, obviously there's been a lack of like all of our gigs were cancelled. But I mean, it's not been quiet. Myself and Megan, my wife, who's from Malig, incidentally.
Yep.
So she's used to the 830.
The Joan carriageway to Malig.
The McAlmans sang a song, "They Don't Go on the 830." Don't know if you know that one.
Right.
It's good. But yeah, we had a little baby girl in May, so we've had our kind of, we've had all hands to the pump, so to speak, with that. And yeah, no, the band have been really busy. Like we had a pretty relentless touring schedule for the last, I would say, 10 years, and so when this whole situation happened, there was a bit of, at first it certainly felt like we were able to just take a wee breath, and just sit back, and obviously we didn't realise it was going to go on this long, and so we've started a few different projects and things like that to keep us busy. So yeah, we've certainly kept ourselves busy. So
yeah. And what's your little girl's name?
Joey Grace. She's named after her two grannies, or great grannies. My granny, who was from Lochcarron, who was Johanna, and Megan's granny from Malig, or from Noider actually, Grace. So, yeah.
That's a couple of coincidences there. My little girl's 7. She's called Grace as well, and I remember going to Noider with Black Eyed Biddy once to play at something, and we got picked up in Malig by a prawn boat and taken on this prawn boat to the pier. This old Land Rover with no lights met us in the dark, and I think we slept in the old school or something, and there was 4 of us, and there was 3 mattresses and 2 sheets in the room, and that was it. So it was an interesting night, so I'll never forget my night in Noida. So it's great fun. So anyway, I think we should have a wee track for you before we start speaking about other things, like your projects and bits and pieces, and how you got into music, etc., etc. So what are we having first from you here, Davie?
We got Ewan was lucky enough to kind of send us 3 videos, so we're having the first one, which is the Cottager's Reply.
Is there anything you want to say about that one, Ewan?
No, it was. I was trying to think of a song that I wanted to learn, so I kind of learnt it just for this, and but it's a song that I know though quite well, written by written a long time ago as a poem, and then given a kind of updated version by Chris Wood, who's an amazing singer-songwriter from down south. So I thought it was kind of relevant as well. So yeah,
that's brilliant. There you go, folks. All the exclusives, Tartan Tunes. That's the place to be. This is it. And remember, keep all these comments coming in for us if there's anything you want to ask people. So let's have a wee listen here to you singing.
I'm going to sing you a Cotswold folk ballad. This was written by Frank Mansell quite a long time ago, but it was given some modern treatment, and it came to my attention through the singing of Chris Wood, who's a wonderful musician altogether. It's definitely a song that I can relate to, and that I think is really quite a prominent issue at the moment, and maybe a lot of you listening at home will be able to relate to as well. It's called The Cottager's Reply. This old house and a piece of ground. You and the wife, you've always planned to settle down in Cotswold land. You best come in, you best sit down. It's such a long drive from London town. Would you like some tea now? Why I tell the reasons why I will not sell. The story
gained at far too high a price for me to gaily sign away what others toiled for night and day. They hammered bluestone by the yard. They found the rent when times were hard, and they lived and died beneath the sun, tending the fields you're gazing on. They're all gone, but as for me, the wild hare still runs as free. And at night the badger travels still, ancestral highways upon the hill. I am as Cotswold bred as these, and I still need these hills and trees, and I need the soil that bore my race and holds their bones beneath this place. Say you'll pay 500 grand for this old house and a piece of land. Well, London's about 4 hours for me, but in your 4x4 you'll do it in 3.
Yay! Well done, sir. Have a round
Okay,
there.
I edited one video, Ewan. It's fine. That was cracking song.
Oh, thanks very much.
Cracking song.
Yeah, very,
It's,
very much.
I was saying to Peter earlier on. Oh, he's Bluetooth broken. I was saying to Peter, I've been listening to your album, Some Kind of Certainty, most of the afternoon.
Oh, thanks
So you're
very
gonna
much.
get you're gonna get a few pennies off Apple Music. But no, it's a great mix. Sorry, Peter.
Do you have an album out yourself then, Ewan? You've got an album out yourself?
I do, yeah. So, so back in 2008, I won the BBC Radio Scotland's Young Traditional Musician of the Year, and part of the prize for that was making an album. But I was kind of, Braybuck were already formed at that point, and that's always been my main focus. And so I didn't really. It took me a while to get around to it, but anyway, in 2010 I did a solo album and I released it, and I sold a few copies, and the rest of them are in the cupboard in the flat.
Can people buy these copies from you rather than them sitting in your flat cupboard? That would make sense.
Well, thanks to you and Karen, Peter, I managed to set up a Bandcamp page today, this evening.
Okay,
so if you go to Bandcamp and search for Ewan Robertson, the physical album is there to buy if you're interested.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. Jump onto Bandcamp, and when you're on Bandcamp buying Ewan's, if you look for mine at the same time, that would be really... Nah, just buy Ewan's, it'll be good. That's brilliant. It's a good way to do it, actually. It's a nice way to sell stuff on Bandcamp and things. It's quite fine. It's good. What was I going to say? Right, tell me, how did you get into folk music? How did that start in Carbridge?
Yeah, well, I mean, like we were chatting earlier, Peter, and like Carbridge has got a very strong history of the Ceilidh Week, the folk week that they used to have. So it's a very musical village, and so I didn't have to look far. There was a lot of people in the village that were musicians that were able to help out, give lessons. I don't know if Gilly, the Gilly brothers, were around when you were there.
Very much so. And I played with Fergie, his brother, sometimes in bands in Denmark as well. So that was.
Well, I kind of cut my teeth around the pubs with Gilly and playing the fiddle.
Nothing like it.
It was an amazing education, but yeah, no. I went over to Nairn for violin lessons, fiddle lessons. Had guitar lessons in Carbridge, and I went down to John McDougall for my piping lessons. David, I don't know if you remember John. He was just a great guy. Brilliant. He's a real miss, actually. But yeah.
So in piping, did you play with bands or compete or anything with piping?
No, not really. Just I mean, we had a folk band that we started at school. So I would play the pipes in that. We were called Scoosh, myself and Hamish Napier and Fraser Stone, a few guys that have gone on to have careers in music as well. So yeah,
I actually tutored at the very first Spayfish.
Right.
The very, very first one. It was held over at Granton there, and there was these two wee boys apparently brought along. One of them was sent away because he was too young, but the other one came along and got an accordion lesson for me or two for a week, and it was Finlay.
There you go.
Napier, so there you go. So,
I mean, I'm glad you brought that up though, Peter, because it's like Fèis Bay, I would say, would be the single biggest factor in me like pursuing music and like having an interest in it, because when I was young, I would have been I don't know when I first went to the Fèis in primary 6 or something, early 90s anyway, and suddenly you're bunched in with all these people that have got the same interests as you, and you make these friendships, and I'm still friends with a lot of those folk that I was there with at that time, and a lot of them have gone on to play music professionally.
Yeah, it was an amazing time. I really enjoyed the Fèis movement as well, because it gave us a chance, folk that played different instruments and all that together, even as the tutors, to get together and have a spree and create some music, because there was that year there was Ian MacDonald from Aberdeen, the singer guitar player, was there, and Alec Green, the whistle player, he was there. Some real characters, so it was very, very good fun. But I remember the Gilly brothers well, the brothers Gilly, and Bill Paul used to play in the Aviemore area all the time as well. And but Gilly, the Hotel California, that was the big number that we used to get at every so often. But there we go. But great. So anyway, so music's always been your kind of thing then.
Yeah.
Getting into
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I loved my sport at school as well. I loved that, and I didn't actually study music after school. I studied outdoor education, which was it's a bit of a
change, isn't it? A bit of a change from the trad to the outdoor education, and then go back into the trad music sort of scene.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I finished university, and basically I just had too many gigs to get a proper job, so which was great, and that just kind of continued. So I was very fortunate, but I mean, I think I was like very fortunate for a number of reasons. Like I think I came through with certainly with my guitar playing at a time when there maybe wasn't that many accompanists kicking about, and certainly accompanists that maybe had experience of playing melody as well, so they kind of understood a lot of the tradition a lot of the rhythm side of things. But I mean, because if I was trying to start out a career as a guitarist now, I would have no chance. The talent is unbelievable. It is frightening.
Yeah,
some cracking players out there.
Some of them pretty scary young musicians all over the place. Actually, some of them are just. You think, gee whiz, where's this going to stop? You know, the standard getting better and better. Because it was really interesting. We had Gary West on one night, and Gary was in Kilbeg, of course, at a point in time, and we're saying, well, what did you think of playing in folk? He said, well, way back then, he says, if you could kind of play half kind of decent together, that was it, you'd made it, you know, because there wasn't that many bands. There wasn't that many bands going about, like, to the extent that there is now. There's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of bands. And a lot of good quality bands, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, but that again, I mean, that keeps you on your toes. I mean, not that like, it's good that there's such a high standard because it drives you to improve and you know, try and keep up, and that's good.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, in some of the bands now that are kicking about, you find that the members are members of multiple bands at the same time to kind of make it a full-time kind of job, because obviously you're never going to get you probably won't get a band going like 365, but if you choose two bands, you can pretty much tour for the whole year. Well, you could do, not this year.
Not this year, no.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
So when did Breabach that came along? What, a couple of years after you'd been out playing?
Well, no. So I mean, so when I was at university, so I went to university in 2001 and graduated in 2005, and Callum McCrimmon and Donald Brown and Patsy Reed and myself were and so we kind of started having informal jam sessions and things like that in like around 2003 and 4, and then in 2005 we went in for the Danny Kyle open stage at Celtic Connections, and we were one of the finalists of that, and part of the prize of being a finalist is you get a support slot the next year at Celtic Connections. Right. So we went and we supported Fairport Convention.
Okay.
At Celtic Connections the next year, and it's all just kind of snowballed from there. Opportunities arose. We got an agent, and we made an album, and it's been. We celebrated 15 years as a kind of professional outfit in January with a concert at Celtic Connections in the concert hall. So
that's amazing. Yeah. It doesn't seem that long ago since you started, to be honest.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? It's 15 years.
Went by and has the lineup been fairly stable over that time? You haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much so. Yeah, reasonably. The Patsy and Donald left around the same time, about 2010, and Megan and James Mackenzie joined, and so we were that five. We were five with James Lindsay as well.
Yeah.
We were a five-piece for 11 years.
Really?
11 years of it's you're like a family.
It's a good achievement though as well to keep a five-piece on the road and keep a five-piece busy, because it's hard nowadays to keep bigger units together. So a five-piece is a good
I mean, do you know, you're right, but I mean, like, we're lucky because like we've got a good team behind the scenes as well, like we've got a lot of support, and I think the biggest lesson is and the biggest success of the band is absolutely teamwork. It doesn't work if anyone wants to be the star, or it's like it has to be a team effort, and that's so we've managed to create a good working atmosphere and keep that going. So yeah.
My goodness, there was Gilly shouting hello from it's just, I've just remembered, my first album that I ever done, Gilly played some guitar on it for me.
Did he? Great.
Yeah. I remember the tune, it was Andy Rennick's Ferret in the accordion, and he done a rocky type intro to it. The Eye of the Tiger type introduction to. Must dig that out. So,
I'd love to hear that.
So anyway, what track is it we're having next year, David?
Well, we've got a set of tunes
Right.
with yourself and Megan.
Megan. Yeah, so you and Megan got married.
We did.
You did. Was that after meeting in the band, or was that before meeting in the band?
No, well, we kind of knew each other a bit before that, but yeah, no, she
Right.
joined the band, and obviously we were together like all of the time.
Yeah.
So so things.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. So
Is Megan a Gaelic speaker? Can I ask?
yeah, she is. She's not fluent, but we're trying to raise Joey with Gaelic and English, obviously.
Oh,
so
magic.
yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
so- do you speak Gaelic yourself then? Or-
I have pretty limited Gaelic, but I try my
Yeah,
best.
No, well, you probably got a lot more than I have, to be honest. 'Cause, I didn't get the chance, unfortunately. I think that's great that you're giving the wee one the chance to grow up that way. It's brilliant.
Now, there's not much Gaelic in Dundee either, to be fair.
Garlic.
No,
Not
Gaelic.
much garlic.
No, there's plenty of garlic.
Plenty
Plenty of
garlic,
Italian restaurants.
Plenty vampires. Right. Anyway, right, let's. Are we having a listen to this set of tunes? This will be great. This is Megan and you.
I'm very lucky to have been joined by my wife.
Very lucky. Very, very lucky.
This is Megan Henderson, and we're going to play you a couple of tunes. The first one written by Megan called Farsund, which is a village in Norway that hosts a great festival. We've been there a couple of times. And the second one was a tune that we picked up in December, actually, in Skye. It was written by Angus Mackenzie from Cape Breton, who lives in Skye and is part of the wonderful group Dive. And the tune is called Seb and Angus's. So, Farsund and Seb and Angus's.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Of course, Megan's right. You are very lucky. No, that's lovely. Do you notice this? It's very Scandinavian kind of influences there, isn't there, in that style of music?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And I've really noticed it coming more and more to the fore over the last 20 to 25 years. There's more and more Scandinavian bands coming out that's playing. And I mean, I moved up to Shetland 25 years ago, and some of the bands that would come over for the folk festival and that was maybe my kind of first kind of listening to some of the Scandinavian folk bands, and great music, wonderful melodies, and really great arrangements that they came with as well, and a lot of bands I just hadn't heard of before. But I think it has become quite influential in a lot of places, you know, the Danish stuff in the region.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've got quite a broad, like open mind, you know, and a broad perspective of music, you know, like, and the standard is through the roof, and I think it's definitely influenced here, and I can see like the Scottish scene going the same way, you know. People are taking so many different influences and pushing things in different directions, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things with the internet as well now, is that bands from the other side of the world can be heard at the other side of the world. So bands from Australia, New Zealand can kind of be heard in Scotland and America. You did something recently with Brayback in Australia, didn't you, Ian? The kind of connection. Did you not do there's a kind of connection there? Was there not?
No, we did. Yeah, no. Yeah, we actually.
Davie, did you just make that up, Davie? No, you just made that up.
It's a leading question.
Certainly was.
No, we went out. We were in January last year, 2020. We were out. It was one of our last trips. Actually, we were out playing for Burns Night in Sydney. But yeah, I mean, so we went out in 2014. We were actually involved in a collaborative project where we worked with Indigenous musicians from Australia and Indigenous musicians from New Zealand, and we put together this kind of cross-cultural piece that involved haka and Aboriginal song chanting and didgeridoo playing and pipes, and it was an amazing, really amazing experience. We were so lucky to get the opportunity to do that. So yeah, so we've got kind of close ties with Australia, and obviously there's the, you know, all the immigration, and we go out to Australia. Well, we used to go out pretty much once a year, and so we've got a lot of friends, we've got family there as well, and we've spent a bit of time.
Brilliant. So, I mean, did you do America, the States, and that as well? Then were you touring out that way as well? Or?
We have played in America a few times, but Canada, we were more drawn to tour in Canada. We kind of put a lot of groundwork in there, and mainly, I suppose, because we had a real close connection to it through Callum McCrimmon, being from Edmonton. So you know, we had close ties with Canada, and obviously with Nova Scotia. Like step dancing has always been a big part of the band, and that's really that's Cape Breton is the mecca for step dance. So you know, we've had strong ties with Nova Scotia, and
I think that's what I need to take up. Actually, step dancing. That would help me. That would help me lose a few pounds if I could step dance and play the accordion at the same time.
That would be impressive.
Well, do you know there was once in the schools about 15 years ago up here, that's my wife saying no, but in the schools we had a chap, I can't remember who he was, he came from about Cambridge, and he played the accordion and he tapped on a board with his feet while he played, and they sent the school children home and told them to go home and think about what they'd seen, and the next day they came back in, and the teacher asked them to write a wee story about this guy yesterday, and one of the kids wrote they'd seen a lap dancer playing the accordion. And all I could ever imagine was the wee boy going home and his dad saying, what were you doing at school today then, son? He says, oh, we had a lap dancer playing. I go, school was never like that when I was there. Rubbish. But that was quite interesting. So Brayback, what's the best place to buy all that music? It's just on the site, is it?
Yeah, on the website, brayback.com, which is BREABACH. We've actually got a brand new CD out because we were working. So when the lockdown kind of happened, it was a bit of an opportunity for us to take part in a project that we'd thought about doing for ages, but we just had never had the time or opportunity to do. So we worked with an animator also from Carbridge, Kat Bruce, and she made a film called Dúskig, which means awakening in Gaelic. And so we've got this 25-minute animated film, and then each band member wrote a piece of music for each chapter of the film. So we've got 5 original pieces of music, and we just got the CDs yesterday. So this is exclusive. So it's got Kat's artwork, and so that's.
See, there's people the exclusives you're getting here on Tartan Tunes is unbelievable. Is that
almost how it's planned.
I saw Karen frantically looking for that address. Is that the right address?
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
Absolutely wonderful. There we go, folks. Remember, you don't have to rush and get a pen of this. This is all recorded. You can watch it back. But if you're interested in the new albums, etc., that would be fantastic. All these exclusives that were on Tartan Tunes. So brilliant. So any projects for the future, or just kind of waiting to see what happens?
Yeah, just we're actually we're starting to plan. We've got a meeting tomorrow morning, and we're planning our new album. That'll be our 7th. Is it 7th or 8th? I don't know.
Wow.
Album.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we'll start planning that tomorrow, and hopefully get it recorded over the summer.
Fantastic.
In one of your bios, you mentioned your second album in 2017. That never came up, did it? Your own second one.
Did I mention my own second album?
Yeah,
which doesn't exist.
That's the one.
Did I?
It was referencing your time doing Iron Man.
Oh,
changes.
Sorry. Right. Yeah. Okay. No, I wrote a piece of music for Celtic Connections. It was the New Voices series at Celtic Connections. So I was lucky to get that opportunity. And you basically write 50 minutes worth of music, and you get to perform it on a Sunday afternoon and at Celtic Connections. And I wrote mine all about my experience of taking part in an event called the Celtman, which is an Ironman triathlon. It takes place in Shieldig. So I did that, but I didn't record it, and I didn't make a CD of it.
You missed
I always
an
meant to,
opportunity there.
Yeah.
One of my friends, Sandy Leggett, he's into the Iron Man thing. He does it a lot as well. And it looks fairly serious. It's quite a challenge.
It is a challenge, yeah. But I mean, it's a good focus, to be honest. It keeps you busy, because it requires a lot of time training.
Yeah.
You can't.
I think
you've got to put the training in.
Yeah, I think the swimming bit would scupper me. I'm not a great swimmer, unless there was a killer whale or a shark or something following me, and that speed me up a wee bit.
Well, Loch Shieldig, where the swim is, it's famous for being cold and also for the amount of jellyfish in it. It's like swimming through jellyfish soup. It's pretty horrendous. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's swimming through jellyfish. Oh, terrible.
That's a good name. Cracking name for a tune, jellyfish soup. Like that.
Jellyfish soup. I thought swimming through jellyfish is probably better than jellyfish soup.
Oh, right, okay. Right.
But it doesn't have the sting to it, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Are we having another wee track for you in here before we lose them?
I think we're having one of my favourite songs actually on your album, One for the Ditch. It's Finlay Napier that wrote it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a cracking song.
Napier.
Yeah.
He's a great songwriter, Finlay, and he's been a big inspiration to me over the years, I would say, being from Granton and Spey, and and going on to, he was so successful, with Back in the Moon. I just thought Back in the Moon were
Yeah,
one
they
of the
were
best
great.
bands one of the best bands I've ever seen. Yeah.
I remember seeing them one night in Aviemore. They were supporting Capercaillie, a thing in the theatre in Aviemore. That was great. Yeah, it was really
Oh,
good.
fantastic.
And we had Hamish on the show there a few months ago as well, and he's a busy lad as well. But
Oh,
He
yeah.
sure is.
have to nab Finlay some night. Actually, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. The last time I saw him was up here in Shetland, I think, at a folk festival. So
You
anyway,
put a good
sorry.
word in, Robert, Ewan. You put a good word in with Finlay.
But was
That's great.
Cardbridge and Granton and Spey not kind of like rivals? So is that not a kind of wee bit of rivalry there? Or?
No,
Not
not
really,
really. I
not
mean,
too
because we went to school together. You know, we all went to in Granton.
Yeah.
But no, there was definitely a rivalry with Kinusi.
Yeah.
But
I was-
I think
yeah,
there's a lot of jealousy from Kinusi to Grantown just because we would beat them at everything.
Well, that's it. You see that? They just couldn't take it. Couldn't take it. Anyway, what song are we having? Here we are,
There's one for the ditch.
in the ditch.
So we're going to sing you a song written by Finlay Napier, an old school friend of mine. This is one called "One for the Ditch," and I actually recorded it back in 2010 for my solo album. And yeah, we'll give it a bash.
Your solo album, which you can still buy.
Yeah, which I've still got about 945 copies.
The box works well as a wee night table.
Great. 1, 2, 3, 2. Whiskey with water is good for the soul. Without a peat fire, it's no use at all. Whiskey with ginger, it goes down a treat. If you're killing a memory, it's best taken neat. And 1 for ignition, 2 for the road, 3 for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. 1 for ignition, 2 for the road, 3 for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. First foot's the hardest in the New Year's snow. Oh, you're lying in a ditch. It's time to get up and go. You look to the stars, and wouldn't it be fine to know with some kind of certainty one of them was mine? And 1 for ignition, 2 for the road, 3 for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. 1 for ignition, 2 for the road, 3 for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. Oh, there's fireworks and dancing, the bottle goes round. Everyone's lined up, the party's all over town. And just as it gets to wild mountain time, the couple stroll off in disorderly lines. Whiskey with water is good for the soul. Without a peat fire, it's no use at all.
whiskey with ginger. It goes down a treat. And if you're killing a memory, it's best taken neat. One for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. One for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. And one for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. One for ignition, two for the road, three for the ditch, walk the rest the way home. One for the ditch, walk the rest the way home.
Fab, guys. Fab. Great stuff. Lovely song. And that's on that album, isn't it, that you've just put in Bandcamp?
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen out there, keep sharing this, please. And if you would like one of Ewan's solo albums, jump onto Bandcamp and search for Ewan Robertson. What's that album called? That one's called
Some Kind of Certainty is the
There
song
we
it's
go.
out. Yeah.
So
We'll share the link when we find it as well.
We will do. Yeah, we will do. Ewan, I can't believe we've gone through an hour already. That's unbelievable.
Amazing.
It's been very, very good. I can only thank you so much for coming on board and joining us there. It's been fantastic.
Oh, listen,
And,
lads, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
And
No, it's been
hopefully, hopefully, folks, if you can support the musicians to the best we can just now. Everybody's out there trying their best, and hopefully we'll be back on the road sometime before too long. That would be awfully nice. Awfully nice. Even Davie and me might get out for a tune sometime. We might be allowed out.
We can, but
I don't know when I'm going to be allowed off Shetland again. It's just strange. You've even got to watch where you're going just now, because Jimmy Perez is on the go. They're filming the new Shetland series just now, so I don't want to end up in the middle of a murder scene. I remember going to watch them. You'll come across this, Ewan, as the wee lass gets bigger. We took our Grace once to see Jimmy Perez shooting a scene somewhere. That's a while ago when she was only about 2 or 3, and she decided to make some noises, and this very polite television person came off and asked if we would please leave. So we were throwing off the Perez set. Never mind. That's worse things. But Ewan, thank you so much. It's been
a pleasure.
Pleasure having you on.
Look forward to seeing you in person at some point in the future.
And thank Megan too. Thanks for coming
I'll do
on
that.
and sharing your talent with us. That's magic.
Oh.
Take care. Thanks, Ewan.
Thanks, Ewan.
Man.
Cheers.
Man. Cheers. Fabulous.
To be fair, Peter, I was just thinking there, per head of population, Shetland's probably got more murders than New York.
It has if you listen to Jimmy Perez. It has anyway. Yeah, it's not looking good. I mean, one of the Perez's was even involved in Fair Isle. I mean, there's only about 50 folk out there at the moment. That's pretty dire when you end up. It was a bird watcher, right enough. So,
Well, Twitchers, yeah.
but so it's quite interesting that they're back up here. It's very successful. Seems to do quite well. So,
Yeah. Not fancy getting a job there, no?
Well, I remember they had a tune in the lounge once, but it wasn't in the actual lounge. It was in Glasgow somewhere that the scene was
right.
shot or something. So
You've probably got more chance of Ewan being there.
yeah, than me. Yeah, very much. Yeah, that's it. So, but good. Ladies and gentlemen, wonderful to see so many folk joining us tonight. It's lovely that you're here on a Sunday night with us, and remember to share it about as much as possible if you could. We have a young lady waiting backstage here that we're going to bring on, and she was highly recommended to us. So we'll just bring her right on now. Here's Amy Bailey.
Hi.
Hello, Amy.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I'm very good. How are you?
We're very, very well. How are you? You're down in East Lothian way, aren't you?
West Lothian, yeah.
West Lothian. Oh, sorry. the wrong. Cool.
Other side.
Other way. Yeah, you're in Broxburn. Yeah, that's brilliant. So, Amy, have you been brought up in Broxburn? Is that where you're from originally then? Or?
Yeah, well, I was born in Livingston, spent my childhood through in Edinburgh, and then moved back when I was in my, early teens, and pretty much most of my life spent through here, so, yeah.
Fantastic. Now, one of the points of this show that we wanted to bring on was, as well as always, highlighting new talent and highlighting folk and letting you have another platform to push out your music on, etc. And it was Alan Monroe that got in touch with me about yourself.
That's
and
right,
said,
yeah.
we know this lass, and I think Alan's helped you a bit with some of the gigs and that, and building up some of your stuff for you as well.
It has, yeah. It's been a huge impact to me. Managed to get me loads of gigs over the last couple of years, and he means a lot to me and my family as well. You know, he's became a very good family friend as well. So I've obviously supported his brother Donny and some other bands as well over the years, Scary Boar and Man Ran and stuff like that. So he's been an absolutely amazing help to me. So I'm sure he knows how much I appreciate him.
That's fantastic. Yeah, just in case you didn't catch that there, Alan is Donny Monroe, that was former lead singer with Runrig. And now Donny's on the road himself with his own band, and he actually has Maggie Adamson from Shetland plays the fiddle with him sometimes as well.
Yeah.
In that band as well.
Strange how everything ties up like that, isn't it?
Yeah, Maggie played in 2 of my albums. She played the fiddle for me in 2 of my albums, so it's really good. So, but listen, I think what we do to begin with here, Amy, we're going to have a wee listen to you singing a song, and then we'll speak about influences and what made you want to do this and get into the crazy old world of music. Because it can be kind of crazy sometimes, especially this past year. Anyway, that's for sure. Anyway,
definitely.
So what's this first song we're having here? We're going to hear The Sound of Silence. I think is that right?
Yeah. So
where did you record this one?
I actually recorded this at a friend's house. It was for a project that they were doing during lockdown. My good friend Michael Crow and Mike Crow, good friends of mine over the years, and it was a lockdown project that they were doing, and obviously with coronavirus and stuff it was quite difficult to record with restrictions and stuff, but at that point you were allowed to sort of socialise in people's houses before all that sort of stopped. So we managed to record it before all the restrictions came in. So got that recorded, and then we sent it across to the BBC as well, and it got played on Janice Forsyth's show as well. So that was obviously really exciting to hear that broadcast out on that on the show. So we recorded that.
It's great.
Absolutely brilliant. Right, folks, remember, if you've got any comments or wanting to ask Amy anything, please just pop them in and we'll sort things out. Let's have a wee listen to this video. Here we go. Super.
My old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone. echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sounds of silence.
Yeah, well
That
done.
was great.
Thank you.
Super. Really, really spot on. As you can see, there was a lot of nice comments going in there as well. A lot of
did, I
folk
saw
out there
that.
enjoying this. Please share this about, folks, because we've got the stars and we've got exclusive stuff going on for you tonight. This is the thing. By the way, I meant to tell you, Davey, and I forgot to tell you earlier. I'm trying not to say it tonight. Somebody wrote me a tune through the week and sent it to me, and called it the marvellous Peter Wood. Which I thought, what's this about? And it's apparently because I say marvellous an awful lot in this show. It was nothing. It was nothing to do with me being marvellous. It was other people being marvellous.
What we should do is that should be our competition. So for the next show, we can guess how many times you say marvellous, and we can count them back. And the closest, the closest wins
marvellous.
something.
Amy, that was fantastic.
You're going to do it again.
Really enjoyed that. Now, I want to bring a wee thing in because it's kind of strange. I've lived up here for 25 years now in Shetland, and you're in Broxburn, and then we have this little small connection that I was from a place called Crawford John originally, which probably has about 100 people in it. And when I was growing up, your great granny and granddad had the post office shop in Crawford John.
That's right. That's right.
And we didn't know this at all until I asked you to come on the show that time, and you put back, I think you know my grandfather. and I was like, oh my goodness. And it turns out that he drove me with a quad and a trailer up to the play park thing. I think it was for the Queen's Silver Jubilee. What year was that? 1977? Was that right? Is that right? 78? 75? Sometime.
Yes.
But I was playing the pipes in the back of the trailer, pulled by the quad anyway, so, and I'm still here to survive the tale. But it's absolutely amazing how we have these small connections. And then I was
It's a very, very small world. And as you say, Crawford John isn't exactly the biggest of places, it's tiny, so...
No, well that's right, but they always used to say, out of the world and into Crawford John, kind of style thing.
Aye.
But it was strange because my mum still stays there, and I was talking to her today, and she said she can remember, she thought yourself going up to sing with Andy Chung or something.
That's right, yeah. It was,
Is that right?
it was for, I think it was for New Year a couple of years ago, actually. I say a
there
couple of
you
years
go.
ago, it was more than a couple, but...
My mother's right again. My mother's right again. There we go. That's fantastic. So that's fantastic. That really is nice. So how did you get into music yourself then? How did you get into singing?
I've sang for as long as I can remember, but my granny's a musician as well, and she plays and
Okay.
sings, so obviously being brought up around folk music and stuff, I was brought up listening to North Sea Gas and obviously Andy Chung, massive influence on me growing up. My granny used to go to the Royal Oak pub in Edinburgh.
So did I. So did I.
Yeah, fantastic pub. That's where I celebrated my 18th birthday, which feels like a lifetime ago now, but that's where I celebrated my 18th birthday. But my granny used to phone me when I was a little girl, I was about 4 or 5, and she used to phone me on her phone and let me hear the singers in the pub, which was a highlight for me as a wee girl, because I always wanted to go, and obviously I never really understood why I couldn't go. But yeah, I've always been brought up around music, and my granny's been a huge influence to me growing up. Then.
Do you know, I always wanted to go to the women's rural because my mum wouldn't let me go to that either.
Different reasons, Peter. Different reasons.
Yeah, but I didn't realise what it was, obviously. And I remember hiding in the car one night in the hope that I would get to go to this women's rural to see what it was all about. But I got caught. So that was that. But you know, it's interesting you say about North Sea Gas there as well. I played for a while with Colin Ramage as well. That was in North Sea Gas. Okay. And in fact, I think I done one track on a North Sea Gas album. Actually, I'm playing the accordion on a song called Rings End Rose. I think it was.
Right.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But we used to go and watch North Sea Gas in Platform 1, I think it was called. It was part of the Caledonian Hotel.
All right,
in
yeah.
Edinburgh at the time, along the side there, and they used to play in there every weekend or something, and we used to go and watch them. But they were a great band. They were a really entertaining band.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good fun.
Dave Gilfillan and all them. It was brilliant. So, and they used to go up to Coylin Bridge at Aviemore, so when I moved up to Carbridge, I used to see them there on a Wednesday night as well. So, so you were brought up now, so your granny was in a band as well, was she?
Yeah, so she still is in the band, but obviously with COVID and Rick, our bass player, stays in Shetland, up where you are. It's about an 8-mile journey. You were saying earlier when we were chatting before we came on that Rick Nicholson, our bass player, just lives up the road from you, so another connection there again. Yeah. But yeah, so my granny's been playing with Brackenfile, which were previously Rankenfile, back in the late 70s, I think it was. She's been playing with them, I think I want to say 5 or 6 years now, but I might be wrong. And I joined the band a couple of years ago as well. I don't think I joined the band intentionally. I think it just happened. I sort of just used to be there when the rehearsals were taking place, and I sort of just slithered my way in. That's how that kind of happened. It wasn't sort of with, you're with the band now. It's like, I'm here, and I'm kind of just attached to the band, and I'm going to play with the band now, and that's it. I'll need to actually ask if I am part of the band.
Do you know something? It's not a bad thing to unintentionally join a band. What is bad is to get unintentionally get thrown out of a band. That's never good. That's never good. That's not what you want.
When they start telling you they're practicing on a Thursday, not a Wednesday anymore, and you turn up and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
I think Rick would like to sometimes throw me out of the band because I drive him absolutely mad.
Yeah, it's all very, very interesting, very interesting. Listen, we've got a track of what you singing here with Granny and Rick Nickerson, and there's somebody else in the band as well. Who was
the wonderful Tony Mitchell, extravaganza extraordinaire guitarist.
Exactly. So, and as you said, Rick Nickerson's not far away. When I moved to Shetland, Rick was here, and I've known him the whole time that he's been here. He's a great guy, Rick. And actually, the day after the day we signed you up to come on the show, I eventually made it to the local shop, and who did I meet but Rick? And I said, Rick, we've got somebody coming up. Oh yeah, me and you. So I hope he's watching tonight. I hope he's minded.
Yeah.
If not, I'll send him the show in Messenger so he has to watch it. So this is a wee song called. Is this the Homes of Donegal?
This is Home to Donegal, yeah. It's a brilliant song. I stole it off of Alec from Skerryborg. They sing it as a band, and I absolutely love when they sing it. And I thought, you know what, I need when I'm not playing alongside them and supporting them, I could maybe sing this in my own time. So I chored that off them, and it's a great song because my great granddad is actually from Donegal as well. He was born there, so. Right. It's a song that he loves as well. So that's my granny's dad, who's still with us. He's 94, so he loves listening to the songs. So
great stuff. Where was this about when you sung this one? Was this at a folk club then or something?
This was at Leith Folk Club down near the Victoria Park Hotel. So this was recorded live at a gig.
Magic. Let's hear. Here we go. Holmes of Donegal.
The lights of London are far behind. The thoughts of homeland are crowding my mind. Familiar places come into view. I see my home now. Soon I will see you. This is my homeland, the place I was born in. No matter where I go, it's in my soul. My feet may wander off past the places, but my heart will lead me back home to my Donegal. We'll talk to the old folk, for they're getting on. We'll take them to late nights and sing a few songs. We'll talk to the neighbors and life in the town. There's so much to tell them. The days fly around. This is my homeland, the place I was born in. No matter where I go, it's in my soul. My feet may wander off past the places, but my heart will lead me back home to my Donegal. And then tomorrow we'll take a walk down to St. Mary's, to the sheltered spots. We'll kneel and pray there for the ones that are gone, and hope they'll be proud
Well done, Amy.
That's great.
Well done. Brilliant. That's a popular song with a lot of people out there.
Yeah, it's a really touching song. And you know, it makes me quite emotional actually hearing that back, because obviously the audience join in and stuff, and it's such a shame missing that connection with people. I don't think, obviously you guys will understand being musicians, that you know, we're sort of longing for that connection with people again, to sort of get out and play and get that reaction. You sometimes just don't get that from a Facebook Live.
No.
Unfortunately, obviously it's so nice to hear comments and get people joining in and feeling that connection through virtually, but to feel that emotion and have that as an audience, it's something that I really miss.
One question I have for you, Amy, is ideally, where if you could play at any venue, where would it be?
Oh, good question. Do you know, I've actually played it before, but I really do love Howden Park Centre as a venue. It's quite an intimate gig, but you can you can see enough to be able to have that sort of interaction with people. I have to say, I think Howden Park's one of my favourite places to play, which is out where I stay. About a 10-15 minute journey. I really, really love it. Obviously the dream would be somewhere like Madison Square Garden or something like that. but I really do. I love playing locally as well. I really do.
Yeah,
I get to play in my own garden. That's about it. That's about it. On a trampoline. Can't beat that.
I want to see a video, Peter. You playing
Yeah.
on the trampoline while playing accordion.
Yeah. I'll do that some night. No problem.
Karen, get that sorted.
Swimming the sea with killer whales, so a trampoline's not a problem.
Not
It's not a problem. So have you done an album or anything yet?
I've done a little demo album, yeah. You would be able to get that from me if you were interested. You could private message me on my Facebook music page, and we'd be able to get that sorted. It's only I think it's got 5 tracks on it. It's just the original compositions that I've done. But you can also get that on my SoundCloud as well. I'm sure there's one there that's got my original tracks on it as well. So I can post that on my music page for you guys to see if you're interested.
Great, yeah.
And folk can go and see that. That's magic. When you saw when you saw the no coming up there, the no from my wife
figured that
Karen
was to do with trampoline.
It wasn't. It was nothing to do with you. It was to do with me, probably.
I figured it was something to do with the trampoline.
I get that no word a lot sometimes.
Sometimes Peter thinks that's his name.
Yeah, I do. So, have you any projects coming up then? Are you going to make an album? Are you thinking about it there?
I would like to make an album, yeah. It's something that is maybe in the pipeline for the future, but I haven't recorded anything as of yet. I have been working on something today. I can't really say too much about it, but I've posted some photos today.
Go on. Let's have another exclusive.
I posted some stuff on my music page today.
Alright.
Of where I was, and I've got some stuff coming up in the coming weeks that is getting announced over on Gig in the Goyles page, and that's all I can say.
Alright, okay, brilliant.
Fair enough.
Gig in the Goyle. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's I think some festivals, etc., at least they're trying to think positive now and think, let's try and plan things.
Yeah.
Even if they maybe didn't come off, but they are thinking, let's plan them now. Whereas 6 months ago, folk were just still going, nah, that's it.
Yeah.
Gig in the Goyle's been rescheduled a couple of times. It was supposed to be in May 2020, and then got rescheduled to the October for sort of Halloween gig, which obviously didn't happen either. So we're rescheduled for May, but it's next year, not this year.
Right.
But they've got some other things in the pipeline for this year.
That's good.
That's great. That's brilliant. And what was I going to ask you? So, do you work in band-wise? Do you work mostly with that band? Because I noticed, did you do a festival thing as well, the Edinburgh Festival? Did you do?
We've done the Fringe Festival a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think we normally do about 3 or 4 gigs during the Fringe. So we obviously missed out on that in 2020. but hopefully something. I don't know if it'll happen this year. I don't know if it's going ahead or not. I think it's quite hard to say at this time. But fingers crossed, something is, even if they do it virtually or something like that we'll be able to be together again, because it's been well over a year that I've seen the whole band together. Obviously, I see my granny, but it's hard to get a band together, especially when we're all spread apart. I mean, Tony stays in East Lothian, and my granny's out through here with me in Roxburn, and then Rick's obviously in Shetland. So who knows when the travel restrictions will change enough for all of us to get together. Really, it's quite a tough one, but fingers crossed.
Am I right in saying did you get COVID?
Yeah, I had COVID about. Yeah, I had COVID about 4 weeks ago. I say it so lackadaisical as if it's nothing. There was I've just recently moved job, and there was 7 out of 9 of us that caught COVID. All of us experienced it in a different way, strangely enough. I personally don't think I would have known I had it unless I went and got a test.
Okay.
I had a slight cough. But I did lose my sense of taste. So that was obviously quite horrible, and it hit my partner differently as well. He caught it from me, and he just got headaches. So it was really bizarre. But yeah, as I say, it hits everyone differently, I guess. I was one of the people that didn't think I was going to get it. So there you go.
There you go. I suppose that's that, isn't it? It's just all we can do. But as you say, it'd be nice to be able to get together. And obviously, you're doing this as a hobby just now, singing. And you're saying you're working full time, but you never know if you got back on the road how it can all turn out. You just don't know. It's,
definitely. It only takes one person, word of mouth and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. And the other thing is that it's a fantastic hobby to have, though. Even if you are working, because it's something to look forward to. That's completely different from what you're doing all day long and things. And I go back to school tomorrow. Well, I don't go back to school. I'm teaching, but I don't think the schools down south, are they back tomorrow? Are they still got another week's holiday? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. No, I think the schools are back in Dundee tomorrow. I think.
Are they? Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure.
Somebody for Lothian. I think it was somebody was on earlier on. Isabel was on. It was funny. Isabel was on. I think she's in Caitland or somewhere, and she just said, "Alan's round the corner for me." Is that Alan Monroe?
That'll be Alan Monroe.
That's where he stays, is it?
Alan Monroe stays round the corner in Caitland, yeah.
No, it's too small a world. But I thought Isabel said they had another week down there. But so we're back tomorrow, and just have to see what's good. There you go. There's folks saying there's another week somewhere. Oh, I wish I had another week. Anyway, I'm back tomorrow. Anyway, we're going to. But when I talked about Alan there, of course, you supported Donnie Monroe with the band. That must have been a great thrill. That must have been great fun to do that, because it was successful people.
Yeah. And Skye is, honestly, I think Skye is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been and played. It's just so gorgeous, and I don't think we realise or appreciate what is really round the corner. I mean, Skye's not really overly far in the grand scheme of things, and I think a lot of people will be having staycations now. That,
do you know so?
Obviously,
I used to play a lot in Skye, and I haven't been in Skye since the bridge was built, and we used to go up about every couple of months and play a gig, and it was always the wee ferry we got across and all that kind of stuff.
Actually, I've never experienced the ferry side of it, so I've always went across the bridge.
Yeah, it was great.
But I don't remember the bridge, because the first time I fell asleep, and the second time I don't know what was going on. I actually don't know if I was even awake. I think I must have fallen asleep twice, because I don't remember or have any recollection of driving across Skye Bridge.
I did get one lift to Skye once from a fellow in Kintail in his speedboat, and we shot up right through, and I was playing the pipes in the back of the speedboat. I must have a funny thing about playing the pipes in strange places or something. and he was piping away, and there was somebody water skiing behind us as well, and we went right up past the crowds waiting to go over to Skye and the ferry. It was a good laugh. But it was like, so this next track we're going to listen to, I think this is from when you were supporting Donny, wasn't it? The Caledonia one. Is that right?
I think it is. If it's the video that I think it is, then yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so this might be the video that Amy thinks it is and we think it is, and this might be in Skye. And if not, it's somewhere else.
I think this video is in Bathgate.
Okay.
So it's not Skye.
If I remember correctly. I think this video's in Bathgate, but we'll chat about it once I see it, because I definitely know it's not in Skye.
Magic. Right, here we go. Let's have a wee listen. Caledonia.
Right.
Thank you. This is my last song for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed my set. I'm very honoured to have been asked by Donny, and I really hope you've enjoyed it. And this is my last song, and it's Caledonia, so I hope you enjoy it. You can see changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away, but I'm telling old stories, singing songs, made me think about where I came from. That's the reason why I seem so far away today. Let me tell you that I love you, and that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me. Now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, you know that it will make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Well, I have moved, and I've kept on moving through the points that I need improving. Lost the friends I needed losing, found others on the way. Well, I have tried, and I've kept on trying. Stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've traveled hard with conscience flying somewhere in the winds. Let me tell you that I love you, and that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me. Now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, you know that it will make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. But I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest wire. The flames have cooled, don't get any higher. They wither now, they've gone. But I'm steady thinking, my way is clear. Now I know what I must do tomorrow. Hands have shaken and the kisses flow. They have all disappeared. Let me tell you that I love you, and that I think about you all the time.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you.
Nearly said
That
marvellous.
was a very long time ago.
Very long time ago. I think it said it was about 7 years ago or something, was it?
I was thinking maybe 10, but it must be about 7, yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like
there you go.
ages ago. But that was one of the first times I think I'd ever supported Donny. If not maybe the second time, but that video's from Bathgate.
Brilliant. Great. That's it confirmed. I thought I couldn't hear any seagulls in the background, so that kind of confirmed
I must only be about 16, 17 in that video.
Right. Brilliant. Well done. Well, listen, it's been absolutely fantastic having you on tonight.
Very much so.
Folks, remember, if you want to check Amy out, go to her Facebook page. I'll get Karen to do that one for me.
And
Karen,
click.
can you do that? There we go. So you can check out that, but just go and search for Amy. Find out all these things. We're all desperate to find out, work out for the scenery and the shots, what she's up to, what the surprise, what the exclusive is. I'm going to start doing that, Davey. I'm going to start just doing a wee film somewhere and saying, not telling you.
Where am I?
Shetland. Where am I? Shetland. Where am I today? Shetland.
Shetland. Yeah. It's difficult to get away, you see. It's very difficult to get away. Listen, Amy, thanks very much for giving up your time on a Sunday night and coming along.
Thank you very much for having me, and hopefully we'll all get to meet your son. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, wish you great success with your career, and take care of yourself and everybody else round about you. And it's been fair nice having you on with all these connections that we've found out.
Thank you too. Take care.
You take care. You take care. Cheerio now. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Brilliant. Great.
Another good
there
night.
We go. Smashing night. An established kind of guest in the music scene. Well, two guests, Ewan and Megan on, and then somebody that's a bit new to the scene that's coming on with us as well, and hopefully makes it a bit of their career and things. When things get back to better, it'll be really good. It's good to see people coming through all the time. We're lucky in Scotland that we ain't short of folk coming through. That's not
it's the hard working nature of the folk musicians, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think they just... But I think it's because they enjoy it so much, isn't it?
Yeah.
We really enjoy music so much, and it's part of Scottish culture, and
yeah,
it's so big. And if you think of the diaspora of Scotland and Scots abroad, and
diaspora, that's a big word for a Sunday.
That's not bad, eh?
That's not
I
bad,
learned that. I learned that at uni. That word. I had to write an essay about it. That's the only reason I can remember it. I can't spell it. No, I can't spell it. But I can on my computer when it tells me how to do it properly. Right. That's it. So, but brilliant. So, fair enjoyed that, Davey. Well done. You've done a bit of work this week because we've been about in the house. So, well done to yourself. Well done, Karen, backstage there.
Yes. Done a great job as usual.
Tartan Tunes mugs. This could be yours. You could be getting a prize. We'll be coming up with competitions for Tartan Tunes mugs. Quality in a cup. Quality in a cup.
Is that not a gin advert?
What?
Quality in a
Quality
cup.
in a cup? I don't know. I'm sure. I don't think Karen's got tea in her mug. I think it's probably gin. So I could be sleeping on the couch tonight.
Again.
Can't get near the couch because there's stuff on it. Oh no, never mind. Right. Anyway.
Oh well.
So listen, brilliant, good. We'll be back on Wednesday night, folks.
Aye.
Remember and share this about for us. We'll be
Some
back.
great guests next week.
Couple of cracking guests.
Some great guests next week. So.
Going to be good fun.
Say no more.
No, that's our exclusive. Yeah. We've got great things for you in the future, folks. Marvellous things coming along. So
3 times.
There's Joyce Dalrymple saying she loves the mugs. I don't know if that's you and me.
Well, yeah, we are a couple of mugs.
But anyway, thanks to Karen backstage. Thanks to all you folks out there for listening. Join us on Wednesday, and if you can't join us on Wednesday, just join us next Sunday night. Again, we'll be live on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. Fantastic. And I'm away to have a cup of tea and then think about schoolwork tomorrow.
I'm waiting for a biscuit.
A biscuit?
A biscuit.
What kind of biscuit?
Chocolate hobnob.
Chocolate hobnob.
I've no plain biscuits.
Did I tell you Grace she really likes caramel wafers? But she calls them plain biscuits because the only time she'd had them was in the aeroplane going from Shetland to Aberdeen. So it just sounds wrong, doesn't it? She'll say, "Can I have a plain biscuit, please?" And yeah. Caramel wafer.
Hey.
Anyway, brilliant.
Right.
Slavering on here.
I'll see you
thanks
Wednesday.
very much, folks. Stay safe, everybody out there. And we'll see you very soon. Stay safe, Davie. Take care.
See you, man.
And good night. Good night. See you later. Bye-bye.